Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Welcome, one and all, to the Dukes of Gaming podcast. I want to thank everybody for choosing to hang with us for the next hour and some change. As always, we talk about the world of video games. Again, you can find us on your favorite podcast service, watch us live on Twitch, and find us on YouTube as well. And as always, I have the pleasure of being joined by my fellow Dukes of Gaming. Joining me first and foremost, he's a Nintendo hater. But you would never be able to tell from his room decor. He plays all his games on the hardest mode while teaching his students at the same damn time. He is the Duke of Education, Alfredo.
That's me. Hello. Being an adult is hard. I just want to complain for a second. I thought I was done with school and all of that, but then you got to go to a job. You got to put in your 9 to 5, do extra work. But at least we have video games.
Vent King. Being an adult sucks. I definitely feel that. Hope your week's been good besides all the hard work.
eh, eh. Oh, I saw a movie. What I see? It was good. Prey on Hulu.
Oh, was that good?
Everyone should watch it because that movie's awesome.
Okay. I've been looking for a good endorsement of that. So
Do it.
also, I'm gonna introduce Cole, of course, in second, first and foremost. He is our law expert, headband expert, business expert, but more importantly, he is the Duke of Rocket League, Cole. And I have a question for you, Cole. Do you have any affinity towards Pixar?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure because I believe I feel like Pixar was like my generation when I was a kid. Like when I was real young, like Toy Story came out. So when it was coming out, you really liked that.
I mean, I'd say that it came out when I was starting to get a little older.
Yeah.
So what Toy Story came out, 94, 93?
95.
Actually, yeah.
95? Maybe it was 95.
I was definitely alive. I don't know how much alive I was. But
So
we'll
say like if it came out in 95, I was 10.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the age where you kind of start like,
yeah,
you're not too into it.
Like especially if it wasn't
10
like
years old, that's the perfect age for Toy Story.
Yeah, no, I liked it. Toy Story,
remember, there's no precedent for Toy Story. Like Toy Story was the first Pixar movie. I feel like when we were growing up, Alfredo, like Pixar was it was established.
Yeah. We had a good bit of, we had Toy Story 2 when we were actually,
we were
getting to appreciate animation.
But I bring it up to ask both of you: have y'all seen Lightyear?
I saw that movie.
I just started watching it.
I just saw it.
I just saw it a couple of days ago. I was floored with how much I liked that. I did not
really
how much I was gonna like that movie. I didn't know I was
the complete opposite.
I didn't know I was getting Interstellar too.
Oh my god! What?
So I'll say, like, I was super into it. I was super into it, but my kids weren't into it at all.
That was my first thought. I was watching this. I was like, "This was not made for kids."
No, it wasn't. And it's literally made for the folks that grew up with Toy Story that want to know the backstory of Buzz.
Well, it's the movie that was supposed to be what Andy saw when he was a kid.
Yeah, and that's my thing because I'm like, okay, you expect me to believe that a kid saw this and this is the movie that launched Buzz Lightyear toys? Like, come on now.
That is a very fair point. That movie would not have been as successful because this movie wasn't as successful as it could have been.
No.
Yeah.
But from just being a Toy Story fan, loving the Buzz Lightyear straight to DVD cartoon movies, loving the show, this was like a dream come true. And I don't want to spoil anything, but that scene where he keeps going, doing what he's doing, and then everything just stops and the movie gets real. And I'm like, I remember I watched it with 4 people and we all looked at each other like, this is not for kids. Like this, that one of the scenes almost made me cry. I'm like, I feel like only if you've been through life would something like that hit you.
Maybe I'm just too young to appreciate it. I thought it was boring. I thought it was a cash grab.
It was boring? Oh my gosh.
I mean, I didn't think it was... Okay, maybe boring's too harsh of a word, but it definitely... I thought it was unnecessary. I thought the 4th one was unnecessary too, though.
to bring us back to video games, it is at least better than the Buzz Lightyear game for PlayStation 1 that I thought was at the very least. I
No
hope.
comment.
No comment. But let's get back to video games, of course. And of course, we have to ask the age-old gamer question. What have we been playing this week? And I feel like let's start with Cole. What have you been playing this week, my good sir?
I played some Tower Fall Ascension co-op, which I will say is probably one of the best couch co-op games I have ever played.
Really?
Yeah.
Never played.
Never played. Alfredo shaking his head. You must have played it. It's great. And there's two ways you can play. You can play co-op or you can play like against each other, like a battle arena. And both of them are incredible. And you go through waves, so you have it's like 7 waves. I can't remember. 7 waves. And you're working together with up to 4 players and clearing the level and moving on and on and on. It's really fun. It's really fun.
Yeah,
but I think
it's really hard too, though.
Yeah, it is really hard.
The campaign mode is like so hard. It's really fun though because of how easily you can die sometimes. I think how it works. You tell me if I'm wrong, but as long as like one person is alive, then you're still in it. Like only one person has to complete like killing the baddies or whatever.
That's right. That's right. So I always like that in multiplayer games because you got someone to cheer for to kind of keep it alive, keep it going. But the competitive multiplayer is really fun too, and it's hilarious too. You have a group of 4 people, and like people are accidentally killing each other and stuff.
And sometimes you kill yourself.
yeah. You shoot an arrow straight up, and it can come down on you.
Oh wow!
Or you can shoot through one side of the map, like the old Mario game, and it'll come out the other side of the map.
Yep.
Oh wow!
Kill you. It's great.
That is a mechanic that I love, but really is like a like only a Nintendo thing. That's cool that game kind of implemented that. I've always I think I have it. I'm pretty sure it's on one of my consoles.
Like this should be an esports game.
It really should. We should play it.
Yeah, we should play it. We should play it.
Me want to play it because they have it on PC as well and all consoles. And they have a bunch of expansions too.
Is it online co-op on PS5 and PS4?
That's great. I've only ever played it local, so I don't know. I would be shocked though if they didn't have online.
So there's different mechanics.
Well, a lot of games don't have it, unfortunately. Hopefully, this one does. I'm gonna look it up.
Like Thomas, if you shoot an arrow at me, I can dash. You can dodge into the arrow, and you can catch the arrow.
Oh,
really? So you collect arrows.
That's tough.
You can catch them. I forgot about that.
Yeah, if you dash into the arrow, you catch it. Yep, and then you collect little arrows, so you can only store like 4 or 5 arrows in there above your head. If you shoot them, they'll stick into the wall, and your other teammates can collect them. So that's part of the strategy too, is like collecting their arrows. And if someone else runs dry on arrows, there's like nothing they can do.
I forgot about that.
Besides run around and hope you miss, or dash into it and catch one.
Also, bad news. No online multiplayer.
No,
I didn't think
it came out in like 2013 though, so I feel like that wasn't really expected.
Yeah, you can get around it by doing like share play on PS5. That's actually how I'm playing one of my games.
Oh, really? I've done that for some fighting games. Like I used to do it with Jump Force. But
oh, really?
So yeah, it's a treat. It's a nice little PlayStation exclusive trick. But yeah, I might have to try this out because I know I have it. I feel like I have it on PlayStation, so I think I might try it out. See
that's how I got it. It was a PlayStation Plus game way back.
Oh, so I definitely have it then.
Yeah.
Because I download all those games, so okay, I definitely have it.
So yeah,
the DLCs are worth it.
Yeah, so it was a PlayStation Plus game, and it was so good I bought it on the Switch. So that's what happened.
Got it. Cool. Well, that's honestly how a lot of the games for me go too. I think that's how I got a Bastion. Played a lot of that on PlayStation 4, and I need it on Switch. So yeah, glad that you've been playing that. I kind of want to at least check it out because I've heard great things about it throughout the years.
If you have people that come over and you want to play couch co-op, it's like a must-have in your library.
Dang, you forgot. Yeah, you made me remember how much I loved that game. I gotta play it sometime.
Yeah, I mean it's fun to play solo too. But I really enjoy. Me and my cousin played a few years ago. He came down and we literally played all weekend trying to beat the campaign. I think we beat it, and it gets hard. It gets really hard.
Yeah, really
but it's
hard.
very good. Like as far as you can go far, and like each one's just a little bit harder, a little bit harder, a little bit harder. So it's very rewarding, and it moves up very fair, I think.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
But anyway, yeah, it's good.
That's all you've been playing?
Rocket League, which I've been on a down. It's like the stock market. I'm like, I'm in a bear.
You lost your title.
Well, I'm in a bear market right now, so I'm just like constantly trending down. I had my peak. I was champion 2, and then I've just been going down. Been going down. I'm back down to diamond 3. I'm not a champion anymore.
It's okay. We believe in you.
You'll get there. I went down in Halo too, so I feel it.
Yeah.
Wait, they have competitive Halo?
Ranked, yeah.
I didn't know that.
And if you do bad enough, you start losing your rank.
Good.
Speaking, I just want to give a shout out real quick, guys. The best competitive shooter multiplayer game ever, and there's never been anything like it, is SOCOM U.S. Navy SEALs. It was.
I thought you were about to say GoldenEye. I was about to be really upset.
No, because there's nothing else like
Never
this.
played
That game was like it was 4-on-4 or 8 on. It could play up to 8-on-8, and it's so like it's all about strategy. You only have one life. It was third person, and we would go in there and you had to get the bomb or whatever, and it was so like tactical.
You know what
But
that
every
sounds
match
like, though,
mattered.
Cole?
What?
That sounds a lot like Last of Us Factions.
See, I never played that, and I've heard that comparison.
It's
before.
a little different, but yeah, it's.
I mean,
yeah.
if you play it on the where you only have one life mode, where like if your team of 4 against 4, 1 life for everyone. So
Is it
good.
was everybody communicating and like planning out what you're going to do?
Not whenever I did. I never was on comms, but I probably will be on comms when Last of Us 2 Factions come out.
Yep. All right. Cool.
If it exists.
Right.
You have to convince me it exists. But I know what exists are the games that you've been playing, Alfredo, because you've been playing them. If not, what have you been playing this week?
Yes, so I've been playing a couple things. Honorable mentions, though. So I have finally bitten the bullet and got The Quarry, which is Supermassive's new, narrative game, Until Dawn successor, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not very far into it at all. I've only been playing for about an hour, so I'm gonna hold my judgment on it until next week when I can talk a little bit more about it. I will say that there's a very stupid mechanic in it where you hold your breath, basically. And the hold your breath mechanic is you hold X until your screen outline is no longer red, and then you release X, and then you're safe. So stupid. Anyway, but hopefully the rest of it is better. But as far as other games I've been playing, so I mentioned before that I was playing As Dusk Falls, the narrative Telltale-esque game. I finally finished book 2.
Spoiler cast.
Ready. Yeah, I'm totally ready for that spoiler cast whenever you
Cole, we need you. Cole, we need you. You got to finish this game.
Yeah, you do. You've been playing, Cole.
No,
have you played it?
As Dusk Falls? Heck no.
Yeah.
You got to play it, man.
I don't know about
Hey, you can be our arbitrary third.
Wait, so y'all think this game
our
is
devil's
good?
advocate?
Y'all like this game?
Oh yeah, this game is amazing.
It's incredible.
I loved it.
It can possibly be the best thing Xbox releases all year.
Wait, what kind of reviews did it get?
It's getting pretty good.
It's
not great.
78. 78.
Yeah.
It's way better than its review score has any business being. It is a hidden gem for sure.
Yeah, and it's free in Game Pass. But yeah, it's great.
I would have paid for this though.
I would too. I can't say enough good things about this game. It does what Telltale tried to do, but so much better in my opinion. I'm very curious as to other people's experiences, Thomas, because I know you had mentioned one character in particular being very prominent in the second half. They were not prominent at all in my playthrough. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of variation in this game. So I'm excited to maybe play it again. But I'm one of those people. I might have to talk to you about it because, I'm one of those people who don't like to replay and just have it be okay. This was my story. I'll only play it once. There you go.
You know what I was thinking? Why don't we do a replay while we're doing the spoiler discussion?
We could. That's a good idea.
Like honestly, kind of like a director's commentary, except we're not the directors, but the same principle. We'll see.
That'd be cool. We'll talk.
We'll plan it out. Keep that posted. Pin that.
But if anyone is interested in narrative games like Telltale, you need to do yourself a favor and play this game because it is chef's kiss. Very great in terms of story, narrative. Yeah, the gameplay isn't all there, but you're there for the story. You're there
Well, the
yeah.
gameplay isn't there at all.
Well, yeah. You're just making choices. You're not doing any shooting. You're not doing any walking around. No exploration. None of that. It's just
After
making choices. But it's so good.
after
So
Kentucky
good.
Route Zero, I don't know if I can handle another one of
No,
these.
It's
Kentucky,
so different,
that's a
though.
different beast. This is
It
more
is.
like a Sons of Anarchy, AMC movie /
Trauma
TV.
filled
Yeah, it's more along those lines than whatever
existing.
Kentucky Route Zero is.
You're not just there. You're
Yeah.
doing things. You have things that need to get done.
Like this
But
could
yeah.
be something you literally play in bed with your wife. Like it's like
Yeah.
you're just
Yep.
watching it.
And you make decisions with your friends. Like, this is
Yeah,
that type
that's
of game.
cool. That's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So play.
So highly recommend that. But
Yes.
I see another game. What's the other game?
Yes. I've also been playing Live Alive. Is that how you say it?
I've been calling it Live Alive because that's what I've heard.
Okay. Live. I've been playing the Nintendo JRPG game. That was westernized for here, where basically there's 8 different or 7 different mini stories, and it's like a different kind of story. It's like short stories, basically, is what it is, but in a JRPG format. And I'm really liking this game. It's nothing that is changing my life, but what I really like about it is how fun the stories are, because they all feel really self-contained with how they are, and they all are memorable. I've only completed, I think, 4 out of the 7 so far, so I'm a little over halfway done with the stories, and I think after you get done with that, it opens up into something else. But a lot of these stories are really, really good, and some of them are hit and miss. So some of them I don't like. Like, for example, the ninja one. Did not like that one.
Oh, really? I really
Yeah,
like the ninja. The
I didn't like
ninja
the
one is
ninja
cool
one.
because it's the most different to me. Like it's almost like it's the only one where it almost feels like its own video game.
I
Where
felt that way about the distant future one, the most future.
oh, I didn't play that one yet.
Okay, yeah, that's how I felt.
Okay, but this, I mean,
But
the ninja one's cool because you can theoretically do that whole mission without going through combat.
yeah, it allows you to the ninja one. That's what's cool about them too, is that each story has their own, I guess, special game mechanic to them. So, like you said, the ninja one, he has a stealth ability, so you can go through the whole level without even fighting anyone. With the distant future one, it's kind of like a murder mystery, which is really fun. There's not much combat at all. It's more like just straight story murder mystery. Another one is I just don't want to say too much about the stories because it kind of gives away a lot.
Yeah,
They're only
they're
about
not
two
that long.
hours.
I
Yeah, they're
love
2 hour
the one
experience.
before the distant future. I think it's the near future.
I haven't done that one yet.
I love that one because it's like this like Code Geass / Evangelion type story. I love how different every one of them is. I love
Yeah.
the fighting one where essentially you're just it's like it almost turns this RPG into a fighting game.
Okay. Yeah, I will say, like, so far, this game is really good because of how different, exactly how you said it, how different each one feels. I think my favorite one so far is I'm really into like martial arts and Chinese culture. So there's one story that is revolving all around that. And so far, that's my favorite story that they did. So I think there's a lot here and something for everyone in this game. The thing is, though, like, if you only like one genre, then you have to get through, the 6 other ones that you might not like so much. But there has only been one that I really haven't liked so far. Every single other one I really haven't been enjoying. So it's really a treat just to, have these bite-sized little stories, little chunks that you can just pick up and play and not have to worry about, this mega overarching 40, 50 hour odyssey and just have these bite-sized little chunks. So really enjoying it.
I will say, if you're starting off with the prehistoric path, make sure you grind because
Oh, I just finished that one.
I got soft
That
locked.
one was hard. That one was hard.
But it wasn't even that it was hard. It's like the game didn't tell me you need to start grinding.
For some reason, I started doing that naturally when I was in that one
Was that your
because of
first
the
one?
ability that he has, which is basically when you're in prehistoric times, he has a special ability where he has really great smell senses, I guess. So you basically they teach you how to track animals, kind of, is what you have to do. So you try to track animals, and you can get like food and HP items and stuff, which you actually do need in that particular short story. All the other ones I've been breezing through, but that one I did have a little bit of a hard time.
The problem with that one is that was the first one I tried.
Okay.
And I didn't realize I was gonna have to grind. And I didn't know we're gonna get to a place where where you get to the first boss, you can't leave that area.
Yeah.
And so you're stuck in that area. And so I'm at level 3, and this boss is like level 8, and he's beating me in 2 turns. And I'm like, I literally can't do anything. And then when I Google it, Google says you have to start over. I'm like, oh, that is a real 90s JRPG.
Yep.
Yes, exactly.
And I will say that honestly made me even more excited to start another story, because I'm like, okay, I get it. This game is doing what these old school JRPGs used to do.
Yes,
it's legit, because it's a remake of that. So yeah, I might have more thoughts on my game of the year, so we'll see.
Yeah, there's definitely faults in the game, like you said, because of you can see the 90s influences. I'm a little bit disappointed how they haven't updated some of those things and changed the story at all. It seems maybe they only changed the visuals and kept literally everything else. So like there's a lot of backtracking. If you guys know, with 90 games, okay, you have to do things in a certain order. So like for the murder mystery, you might have to talk to this person like twice to activate a certain thing, then go to another room and then go back in and do it, instead of having it make sense and be more modernized. But I would say that the story makes up for it. The 90s vibes, the 90s, I guess, design doesn't get in the way of enjoying the game as a whole. It's just something to get used to, really. It's worth it.
Agreed.
What about you, Thomas?
Okay.
What have you been playing?
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing 3 little games. One little game is, I'll start with GTA 5. Small game. I have been slowly getting acclimated to my PC. And I was like, I need to pick a game where I can truly do stress tests to see what my system can handle. And I mean, I was doing it with a couple other games. I was like, you know what? Let me go to an old favorite. And I've been playing this. I've been playing through the story, but also I've been doing the modding.
Didn't you'd never beat the story?
Didn't you tell me that? Twice.
Okay. No online? You're not playing online at all?
No, not right now. But I've been playing.
You gotta do the role playing, Thomas. What are you doing?
I'm not a role player.
You gotta try.
Unless it's a Japanese anime person, I don't like role playing.
Did you ever do any of the online missions?
I did. I probably put maybe like 10 hours worth of time into GTA Online. And so realized it's just not.
And you didn't
not.
You didn't like it, huh?
Yeah. It was just too. I don't know. I don't like that kind of investment.
But if you've already experienced the single player, wouldn't you want to experience the content you missed out on, like the online?
But now he has mods.
Yeah,
which is unlimited power.
So I just download.
What are your mods?
So I downloaded this one mod. I haven't done everything the mod lets you do, but one of the big things is it gives you a battle royale mode. Okay. It's like it gives you a roguelike mode, I guess, with the
wait,
the
battle system. Royale with online
with
players?
NPCs?
Yeah. Oh, let me check. It's called Cruise Control, I believe. Hold on.
Yeah, definitely. I think I watched a streamer for the first time on Grand Theft Auto Online, and they had like some sort of purge happening, apparently. So is that what you're talking about?
I think so.
It didn't last very long, though. It was like 5 minutes, and then everyone was just like, okay, purge is done. Go back to your normal life.
See, it's so funny that this game is like, We talk about the metaverse, and I asked you when we had that conversation, Cole, like, why is Grand Theft Auto 5 not considered like a metaverse? Because it absolutely is, just from like the bare bones definition,
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I've been trying out a couple mods. One put a Charizard in.
What? They got Pokemon in Grand Theft Auto.
They got everything. Anything you can like wrap your mind around is in here through some sort of mod. I'm learning.
Insane.
So got this, paid $11 for it, and yeah, I'm having a good time with it. So I'll be testing out some more mods in the future because it seems like it's a rabbit hole that I probably won't be coming out of for a while.
Well, I might try it because I think it's on sale for PS5, Grand Theft Auto Online specifically. So I might try it because I've never tried it before.
Yeah, I think it's worthwhile. It's one of the best games of all time. Definitely something you should at least. You never beat it?
Yeah, I have. I beat the campaign. I just never played online.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, maybe we might be playing together at some point.
No, let's all play.
Yeah.
So the other the dark side of Cole. He's trapping us.
Well, speaking of shooting things, I've also been playing a little bit of Modern Warfare as well. I've always been a fan of the Call of Duty campaigns, but it's been a while since 2020. I think I played Cold War. That's the last one I played. And I was like, you know what? I don't think I ever beat the Modern Warfare campaign from 2019. So I went back to play that. And I have to say, the cinematics in this might be the best graphics I've seen in a game.
Even more than Horizon Zero Dawn?
Not like not like the in-engine, but the actual like cutscenes, because they don't use like in-engine cutscenes.
Gaia.
But those, like, I would watch an entire movie of the cutscenes in Modern Warfare because it looks legit. Like, have you ever seen like Love, Death, and Robots?
Yeah,
it's like of that quality. I didn't realize. Cool. Yeah, I didn't realize how high. Like, it has to be industry standard because I have never seen models of that, like, that quality on a just a video game. Like, I was shocked. I didn't notice. Maybe it was because I was playing on PlayStation 4 the last time I booted that game up. But man, that game looks incredible. But nice. Yeah, just been playing through that. The story is okay. I remember it. Well, the thing is, I would say
were good though.
Yeah, I would say like old school Modern Warfare, like those stories were really good. But this one, it's fine. But when the game ended, I was like, really? And then it was
because it was bad, or
just no, it was like, oh, we're ending right here, and then it's like, oh, well, now you gotta play Spec Ops. So I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, now I gotta find somebody. Maybe this is where this journey ends, and I'll be back for Modern Warfare 2 at some point when it comes to Game Pass.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all. And then I am about 25 hours deep into Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Oh, you're playing 3.
Yeah.
I thought you were playing 2. Nice. Okay.
I might have accidentally said 2. But
how is it?
It's incredible.
Oh, you scared me because you hesitated. I thought you meant like it's bad.
No.
Really?
It's pretty incredible. I might have a lot to say during our next topic.
Okay.
But
I have a lot of questions, but I'll hold them.
Yeah, I have to say, I remember I bought Xenoblade Chronicles 2 fully expecting to love that game, and came to a really slow realization that I hate this game.
That was me.
It was like, I was in there like, I wish I didn't waste the $60, but I definitely did, because I'm never gonna play this game ever again. So this game was already fighting an uphill battle.
So why'd you buy it again then?
Because this game, everything I hated about Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is fixed. Every little problem I had is fixed. The pacing is incredible. Like, it's paced like a well-paced anime, and that's the highest praise I can give to a JRPG. Like I said, I have a lot to say. I'll let you ask your questions when we get to that portion of the show. Okay. But right now, like I am every single moment, I'm like, I want to get back. This is my go-to Switch game.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you haven't finished Alive yet. Okay.
No, this has stopped me.
Right.
This has stopped me. I probably would have beaten Live Alive already, but this game came out.
Right.
So yeah, that's those are the 3 games I've been playing. Yeah. I can't wait to talk about it. But before we get to that, let's do a little rapid fire because we had a couple quick topics that we didn't feel deserved a entire topic block, but we definitely wanted to at least call something out. First things first, we got this from Video Games Chronicles. Unfortunately for Alfredo,
no,
Midnight Suns has been delayed. Another casualty of 2022. I am numb to this because I really wanted this game to come out, but I will say I was gonna have a hard time fitting this game into my schedule.
Really?
Yeah.
How so? I mean, this was slated for the most popular month of October, so
we
that's
have a
one
lot
less
of
game.
games. We have a lot of games coming up. I probably would have played this year, but I do like the fact that we might be getting it next year in a more spaced out time. But that's just me. I have no skin in the game. How are you feeling, Alfredo?
Very sad, because I think I'm the only one who really wanted to play this game when it released. As soon as it released,
I want to play it. I have no hate. I love XCOM. I love Marvel, so this seemed right up my alley. It was bringing me back to the Marvel Alliance days.
Yep.
I know it was going to be a different style game, but I loved when Marvel was just releasing video games when I was younger.
Yeah, because Mario and Rabbids, right? This is the same thing, only with Marvel. Right. And Mario and Rabbids doesn't do it for me, but Marvel, I can get behind that. So I'm really excited.
Would you do Marvel and Rabbids?
No. I don't want those rabbits.
No. I feel like I would. You see Wolverine just chopping up a little rabbit.
Absolutely not.
You see Wolverine chopping up a rabbit and he probably can't catch it, and the rabbit's just appearing. They need to hire me.
That would be interesting, but I'll pass. I will say though, what's exciting, well, I guess the bright side of this is that it's supposed to be slated for fiscal year 2023. So before March, yeah. So it should be before March. So January to March. So early 2023 is when we'll get it. So maybe we won't have to wait too long.
I'll pray to Thanos for it.
Yep.
Any thoughts, Cole? Are you interested in this game at all?
If it got really good reviews, I'd be interested because I never played XCOM, so this would get me into this kind of game because I like Marvel. So I don't know. See how it is when it drops.
Just pick up Mario and Rabbids. Cole.
I know. I've thought about that.
$2.
I know.
That's how I got it.
Did you really get it for $2? You got it for $2?
Yeah, it goes on sale all the time on Nintendo Online store.
He didn't get it for $2.
You didn't get it for $2.
I did.
You didn't get it for $2. No,
I will go on my.
I need to see a receipt.
I think it was $2. I think it was $2
on the eShop.
No, I feel like it's never been under 10.
I'm pretty sure. It was maybe $5. I don't think it was even $10.
I can believe, you know what? I can believe $5. I think I do remember that. And I was like, I should buy this, but I didn't. I was like, there's a reason this is $5.
See, I can't check because my Switch is upstairs. But after the show, I'll check and tell you guys.
I'll be interested.
It was real cheap.
Well, since we're on the topic of a Switch, let's talk about the rumors for a Switch Pro maybe releasing 2023. Thoughts? What are the odds of this?
I don't know. I think the odds are diminishing the farther out we get from the OLED. 2023, Switch was released in 2017. It's too late.
I mean, that's a. Oh, can we
6
consider
years?
the Switch Pro? Like, could that technically be the next gen?
I don't
I
know
don't
if it's
think
gonna
that'd be
be
a bad
next
name. I
gen.
don't think that'd be a bad name for it, right?
Yeah, but they wouldn't alienate, the Switch Pro base that they have, which is huge and still growing. I feel like they would do, a
What
pro
do you mean?
situation like
What do you
PlayStation
mean
Pro.
Switch Pro base?
Just a Nintendo Switch base. So like they have to keep supporting the regular
Well,
base model and offer an upgraded version as
yeah.
well.
Well, I feel we always are going to assume that the Switch Pro or Switch 2 is going to be backwards
Yeah,
compatible.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it could be less PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 4 Pro and more PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5.
I think you just
Where the
call it the
PlayStation
Switch
5
2.
is legit a PlayStation, like I would call it the PlayStation 4 Max more than anything.
Yeah, but here's the problem. I don't think we're gonna get that because I don't because that then eventually we would be assuming that we would get Switch Pro exclusive games, right?
No.
Okay, look, let me say this. When do you think is the end of the PS5 generation?
What
PS5.
you mean year?
Yeah.
Like 2027, probably.
Yeah,
So
I'd say 2028,
Maybe.
so
Yeah.
2029, somewhere
all right,
around
well
there.
let's say if it's 20, let's just say 2027 if it was that early. So you're
The
going to
last
release a
generation lasted
Switch.
7 years, right?
Yeah, but we still
Yeah.
can't find any in stores, and we don't have many exclusive
Hell,
either. That's why I
hell
think
the
it will
price
last like 2 more years.
hell the price might go up.
Right.
So they're going to release a Switch Pro, like a half upgrade. 6 years almost when it's time for a PS6.
Like
Is
it
it 2000
yeah,
into 2024?
like I
It's
feel like it could go either way, but I will say to lean to your argument, Cole, this is what they always do. Like it's weird that they haven't done a super upgraded version.
Not of their
Next
mainline
up.
consoles. Not of their mainline consoles.
But I mean, the Switch is a portable console
Yeah,
too.
Yeah,
technically.
but this
And
falls more in
it's
line.
kind of combined. Like they used to have two different markets, and they used to
Yeah.
have studios making
Yeah.
all different types of either portable games
Mhm.
or like sit down games.
Yep.
Now that's all in one thing.
It's genius.
Yeah.
Genius.
No, it is
It's
genius
Nintendo.
for sure. It is awesome. It's like the dream for Nintendo. But I don't know. I think they're just going to I think you just scrap it, push it back to 2025 or 2026 and just release Switch 2. Backwards compatible Switch 2.
You said
That sounds
2026.
Yeah, release it 2026. Switch 2.
That's so late. Oh, and you're saying
Switch
and
2.
do a pro.
Switch 2, no Pro. Just
No pro at
scrap it.
all.
Yeah, just drop the Switch
That's
2
so
You
in
can't. I feel like
spring
there's no
2026.
You
way.
can't go that
There's no
long.
way
Why do we need it? What
because
do we
it's
need?
because what games are going to be coming out for Switch? Like I feel
Okay,
like
next year we
you
got
get
Breath of
you
the
get
Wild though, right?
but you
Breath
get
of the
into
Wild 2.
dangerous territory when there's no like multi-platform games coming out for this thing.
I mean, but
We are
that's already
already,
happening.
but I feel like even now, like like it's still like you're still getting some here or there.
Yeah, with the
Well,
cloud,
then look, I
their
mean,
cloud ability.
spring 2024 then. Spring 2024, 7 years since the Switch, 7 years since Switch was released. Release Switch 2.
I feel like they could do a pro model that maybe some of these cloud games can actually come to the platform as opposed to being on the cloud. Like let's say the Switch Pro, let's say it's hypothetical Switch Pro can maybe let's say it can play Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's say it could play A Plague's Tale. Like I feel like it has to at least be able to do that.
I think they just missed the I think the Switch Pro should have came out like a year ago. Because if you release it in 2020, late 2023, when do you release a Switch 2? I mean, do you really push a decade? You push it out to over a decade between main consoles?
I think they would
Ah,
because they have honestly no reason to do so.
they've never done it before. They've never went more than like what 6 years, 5 years between
Right,
main
but this
consoles.
is like kind of an unprecedented success as well. The Switch, So I think they'll try to ride that
the
wave
Wii was
for
an
as long as
unprecedented
possible.
success, and they released the Wii U like 5 years later or
But
4 years later.
but I feel like context is a little different though, because the Wii started off very strong, and then towards the end was nothing.
Yeah.
Like
Switch is still going
I don't
strong.
even remember some of those last games released on the Wii. It was literally just like video game, I'm sorry, movie license games,
Movie,
and
the video game.
you know, Bratz the movie, you know, like it was stuff like that coming out towards the latter half of the Switch. I'm sorry, the Wii. The Switch, I feel, still has all of Nintendo's attention.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'll get to Xenoblade in a second, but they're still releasing very quality experiences on this thing. I think this thing still has legs. It's just a matter of when how long they feel they can get away with releasing this super underpowered thing, because this thing is probably as powerful as like a PS3, and and I feel like that's not an exaggeration either.
Yeah,
so
sounds about right.
The fact that they're able to get away with it, I almost cheer it on. I'm like, how long can these bastards actually get away with having this thing out here? While we're getting these 40, 60s, 4070 graphics cards, you know, like this system is still attractive to so many consumers. And I'm curious as to how long that can stay in place, because really the only thing that's even a competitor in their space is a Steam Deck, and we all know it's not in a general sense. So I don't know what incentive they have to release it. I just hope to God they do at some point.
I think they will, and I'll make a prediction that they'll do it holiday 2023 for a Switch Pro. But we'll see. That's also wishful thinking, but I think it could happen.
I think the internet's got it wrong. I think it's going to be Switch 2. And I think that everyone thinks it's the Pro, but it's going to be branded Switch 2.
Wait, but in 2025, you said, or 2024?
I think spring 2024. Okay. 7 years. 7 years later.
It's going to be called 2 Switch.
Hey, if you look at the history of Nintendo, they go 5 to 7 years between consoles. Even their handhelds were 7 to 8 years apart.
I feel like there's one thing we can agree on. Nintendo is going to do something that doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, that's right.
And trying to predict what they're going to do.
Oh, it's going to be it's going to be like the OLED 2.
Hey, all I'm saying is just think of this world. 2023 holiday, we get Breath of the Wild, because it'll get delayed in spring. It will. It'll get delayed to a holiday, and then we also get a Pokemon come out on the Switch, bro. There you go.
They're going to release the Switch DS. It's going to have 2 big ass screens. You know,
Switch DS XL.
I'm an idiot, because I never thought about, why is the Nintendo DS called the DS?
Dual screen.
I never put that together. I feel real dumb. I never put that together, but you learn something new every day. So we've been playing a lot of video games this year, because it's been a very, very good video game year so far. Can we all agree?
It's been fine. It's fine.
Oh my gosh. All right, we'll agree to disagree on that. But I wanted to rank our top 5 video games of 2022 so far. So far, because we have a right to be able to change this by the end of the year. Even if a game, let's say, is like number 2 or number 3 right now, it could be number 1 at the end of the year. Things change. Or a game that's ranked number 1 you might hate. So it can go either way. Maybe another As Dust Falls playthrough might knock it out of Alfredo's top 5. You never know. So So how I wanted to set this up, we're gonna go around each. Everybody's gonna name their 5, everybody's gonna name their 4, so forth and so on. And then at the beginning, I want everybody to say their honorable mention, and at the end, I want everybody to say a game that would be in their top 5 but didn't come out this year.
Okay.
If that's applicable to you. And I think that is all of the things we need to go over. Anybody have any questions before we get started?
I'm ready.
You ready, Cole?
Yep.
Let's do it. All right. So my honorable mention has to be Live a Live, Live Alive, however it's described. I'm about 5 in, so that keeps it 5 chapters in, so that keeps it from being on my list because I feel like I haven't put enough time into it. But just an amazing game. Made by the same person who made Chrono Trigger, and it shows. This is a very old school RPG, but even amongst those old school RPGs, it stands out. There's no game I've played that's quite like this. An anthology JRPG, something I never thought I needed, but something that I'm glad I have.
You played Octopath before, right?
Yeah, I didn't beat it, but I played a lot of it. Like
Okay.
maybe 30 hours worth.
Yeah. I'm just mentioning it because technically, another anthology, but as we both know, definitely not as well done as the story
I
as
guess my
Live
thing is
Alive.
what Octopath is like. Live Alive's been out for almost 30 years.
Mhm.
And obviously, Octopath was trying to, it's definitely influenced at the very least by that game. And as I'm playing Live Live, I'm like, why wouldn't y'all have just done it this way?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is such a better way to do this anthology storytelling. Because one requires me to suspend my disbelief that all these characters are traveling together.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is you just picking your story and you getting through to the end, then you switch your story. It makes more sense.
Right.
But yeah, no, I have love for Octopath, but this game is a way superior version of that, in my opinion.
Agreed. I second that. Here,
Right.
here.
Well, I want to hear your honorable mention.
My honorable mention. Okay, I cheated. Can I have two? Can that be a thing?
All
I
right.
couldn't pick. I couldn't pick. Okay,
All
I have
right.
two. I'm cheating. So I have two honorable mentions. One is Tunic and one is Lost in Random. If I only had to pick one, hands down would pick Lost in Random. So I picked
Oh, so
Tunic.
Lost in Random can be your game that you love that didn't come out this year.
Oh, okay, great. Well, I have
go.
another
Lines
one.
up.
I have another one actually, but I'm picking these for my honorable mentions. Lost in Random, great game. It's one of those EA original games that you play. Reminds me a lot of Alice in Wonderland. Madness Returns, I think. But what's really cool about it is the story. The story is so good. It's very Coraline-esque. If you're a fan of stories, it's great. The only thing that kept this from my top 5 was literally the combat. The combat has a long way to go before being something that mainstream audiences would really care about. It's an acquired taste. The combat does get better the more you play it, but that's why it's an honorable mention and not one of my actual top 5s this year. Tunic is super cute, Zelda-like clone where you're a fox. Really enjoyed that game. It just got a little bit repetitive, and it truly is a clone. So if you're looking for one of those classic Zelda experiences, Tunic is a really, really great modern version of that.
Question.
Yeah.
Tunic or Death's Door?
Death's Door.
Fair enough.
But Tunic has more, I guess, style to it.
Well, it has that language, right? It has its own little language in it, and that's part of the appeal. I love the vibe of Tunic. Like, whenever I've seen
Tunic's vibe is
gameplay of it,
better.
it looks really unique.
Vibe is
And
better
it
in
was in the
Tunic.
oven for a
Death's
while,
Door.
right?
What?
That game was in the oven for a while, right, Tunic?
Yeah, it was. That's another game. It was made by a single developer too, which is
Yeah.
amazing in and of
Wow.
itself. But Death's Door has much better combat. Tunic has much better vibes.
Actually, I feel like Death's Door is made by like 3 people. I feel like it was a small team. I feel like it was a small
Maybe
team.
you're right. Maybe you're right.
So,
But
shout out to small teams making these amazing games.
yep.
Zelda clones. All right, and Cole, what is your honorable mention game?
Before I go to that, have y'all seen Indie Gamer, the documentary?
I love that. You mean video games, the documentary?
Yeah, no, Indie Gamer is the name of the documentary.
No, I never seen that.
It's about God, what's his name? It's seriously a must watch. It's I think it won some awards too.
But are you sure you're not talking about video game, the movie? Because it sounds.
No, look, sir,
is it with the guys from Mr. Meat, like Super Meat Boy?
Yeah, was it called Video Game?
Yeah,
I thought it was called Indie Gamer.
No, it's called Video Game. I'm pretty sure it's called Video Games, the documentary. Video Games, the movie.
It's called Indie Game, the movie.
Oh,
so
okay,
we were both kind of right.
Fair enough.
That's
a great movie.
Yeah, it's about Phil Fish, the creator of Fez.
The thing is, his story was the least compelling for me. Yeah. My favorite was the Super Meat Boy.
Yeah,
because I'll never forget watching that, and I saw the main programmer guy, and they had him like eating alone at this IHOP in the middle of the night. I don't know why that's always stuck in my head. I'm like, that's a video game developer, right?
It is. I was about to say life of a video game developer.
Have you seen it,
Alfredo? It's not all glamorous.
I haven't yet, but I'll put it on.
Seriously,
you watch it.
You need to watch it. It's like a must.
It's on Netflix.
It was. That's where I watched it.
You have to find it somewhere. I don't know.
We'll get you a copy.
I'll find it legally. Wink, wink.
Yeah. We'll get you a copy.
So my honorable mention is Kirby in the Forgotten Land. Okay. And Thomas always asked me, is this worth me buying? And honestly, I think I'm going to say yes now. So the more I think about it, the more I see it, the more I play. It's a damn good adventure game. And a platformer too, you know? And like I've always said, I've said it multiple times, it does the Mario Cappy thing better than Mario Odyssey. Because you actually enjoy playing the abilities that you get. And you can upgrade them and stuff too. It's a great game. I've talked about it a lot on here, so I ain't got, much to say, but
I played it with my kids. On the record, though, it's worth $60.
Yeah, okay. Especially if you're playing with kids. But honestly, it's worth $60. I mean, I had a ball playing it, and it's got a lot of replay value. Going back and trying to find the little, they call them wallabies, and they're hidden, and you have the little challenges. It's really fun, and it's beautiful. It's maybe one of the most beautiful games on Switch.
Okay. Alfredo will beat it in the afternoon.
And this is the game that makes Kirby relevant again. This is such a good showing for Kirby, which I feel like has been quite weak and babyish, real baby-like in the past, you know.
I gotta get it. I'm just scared about that $60 price point.
Yeah.
One day.
I wish it was on Steam or something.
Yeah.
Right. One day.
That's it. That's my honorable mention.
All right. Well, it's bright. It's time. It's time to get to the nitty gritty, y'all.
Thomas, number 5.
I know.
I just want to say that these rankings are not final. Just want to reiterate. These are just right now. Yeah, they're subject to change for our actual game of the year in December or January.
Probably January, but yeah. Power Wash Simulator is my number 5.
Yes.
Jesus. Like I don't even know what to say about this game because it's as basic mechanics as you can possibly get. They just put first-person shooter-like mechanics, except you're playing with a water shooting cannon. And it is more like coloring than I would have ever predicted it would have been. It's almost like reverse coloring. Because you are trying to draw this clean canvas out of dirt, essentially. There are multiple ways to go about this. You can use soap. You can use different nozzles. You can call friends. You can fill out specific tasks, get certain things cleaned. But just if you want to cut your mind off, cut a podcast on, I don't think there's a better game you can play. If you want to legit turn your mind off while playing a video game. And that's the highest credit I can give it. Because I tried a lot of these other simulator games out. Flight Simulator, Goat Simulator, Pimp Simulator. I tried them all. This game is my favorite simulator game of all time. And I probably will be playing this until I'm an old man.
Hey, like we said, this needs to be in VR.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, 100%. I fear that I will not like it in VR because it kind of adds work to it. Like the beauty of this game is how it's unsimulator, where it certain things like for example, if it was real life and it was really trying to be a simulator game, certain water would destroy surface, but that's not fun. So they did not add that. And there's so many little examples of like quality of life things they've done. I think making it VR would make those things stand out a little more. But I would like to try it. I hope the developer is at the very least release, or some modder release something to show this off in what it could be in VR.
Yeah, I haven't played this yet. It's still on my backlog. I'll get to it eventually. And I'm really excited to do at least the co-op version of it. But I don't know. For me, I have never been into the simulator games. I've tried Car Mechanic Simulator, which has been the closest I've come to liking a simulator game. But maybe this will be the one. I got to try it. It's on Game Pass, right?
It's on Game Pass.
Okay.
And that's my 5. So your turn.
All right. My 5th game of the year so far is Elden Ring.
Okay. It's on the list. Okay.
So do we want to talk about this now or later?
I mean, I'll briefly talk about it since it's my number 5.
I mean, it's no guarantee it's going to be on anybody else's list, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Won't be on anyone else's.
It's my honorable mention.
But yeah, I put this. Elden Ring is number 5 for me so far. Really, really enjoyed my time playing it. I think it took me 50 or 60 hours to finish it. I can't remember what level I was, but had a really good time playing it. Like I said before, though, for me, this is kind of like a Dark Souls 4 situation. Where even though, they added the huge open world, it does add a whole nother layer to it. But at the end of the day, I'm still doing the same dodges, same rolls, same slashing. But spent 60 hours and love doing it. I am glad that it didn't drag on to be like a 100-hour, 200-hour experience for me, though, because I could tell by the end I was already starting to get bored with it. And I wanted to finish this game just to, have it written off my backlog. But yeah, really enjoyed the game. That's my 5th game.
We'll probably talk about it later, but I just want to mention probably one of the most flexible games I've ever played. Like, if you want to spend hundreds of hours, you sure can. If you want to spend 50 hours, you sure can. You want to be a spellcaster, you sure can. You want to be a brute, you sure can. You want to be an open world explorer, you sure can. You want to be kind of linear, just do it like a normal Dark Souls game, you kind of can. Not as well as the other things, but you kind of can. I just love the flexibility that Elden Ring provides. It's on a different tier than pretty much any other open world game in that regard.
Yeah, and I also will say they actually fill the open world with stuff as opposed to being super empty and not having much stuff to do.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, I'll say my thoughts because it might show up on my list at some point, and I'm fairly confident it's on Cole's list somewhere. But Cole, what is your number
5?
Elden Ring.
No.
I was about to say there's no way. Lies.
Okay, my number 5, which I don't think it's on either one of y'all's list. It's TMNT Shredder's Revenge.
I didn't even know you played that game.
Yeah, I got it on launch day actually.
Really?
Yeah, I talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah, you did. I do remember this. Yeah.
I played with my kids, which was awesome, and like that makes any game better inherently because I love playing games social. If y'all hadn't realized yet, like some of my favorite experiences are playing with y'all over the past year, and that's evident in one of my other games. Actually, 2 of my other games that I play with you guys. This game's awesome. It's just a throwback to the 90s, to the some of those the Turtles in Time was one of my favorite games ever. And it's like that, but it's better. And it's multiplayer, couch co-op, online co-op. It's incredible. I can't recommend it enough.
I beat it by myself.
Really?
I didn't have that good of a time because I was by myself playing it.
Yeah, it's a party.
I don't by myself too.
I don't have any friends who play beat 'em ups like that. So I was definitely not calling anybody like, hey, you want to locally play this? So I just played through it by myself because I played through the old games when I was a kid, so I felt an obligation to. And even like I played like the shitty like PS2 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games. So I was like,
Me
let me.
too.
I love those games. Those games have a
Yeah.
special place in my heart too. But I really am glad that I at least went through the story because it really was a throwback to a forgotten time in video games.
Yeah, I didn't get very far in this game. I played it because it was free on Game Pass.
Same thing.
And I love beat 'em ups, but just like Thomas, I don't know many people who play beat 'em ups, so I'm the only one who likes them. I only played the first level, and that's it. And I was getting my ass beat. Do they have difficulty levels? Because maybe that's why. Okay, I was probably on hard mode, and it was hard.
I will say I was it reminded me how much I loved have y'all played River City Girls?
Yeah.
No, I heard it was good though.
Oh, I love that game. I played that with my ex at the time. That game I loved. Like that was obviously I'm the Duke of Anime. So it had enough anime aesthetic and was a really good beat 'em up too. I'd say this game is probably better than that game, but I still have to play it. I have to play this with people at some point to really test that out.
Yeah, that reminded me because I've only played one level of this game, but what didn't grab me about it is that Streets of Rage 4 what recently came out like a year ago or so, and I'm a huge Streets of Rage fan, huge beat 'em up fan, and that game just did everything so much better in terms of just having different abilities, different combos, and everything like that. So I definitely appreciate the TMNT game because it's more like an ode to the previous games as opposed to being a more modern, bringing it more into the modern, I guess, world, which I like better. Modern video games. So.
I will say I could use a beat 'em up in the style of the new version of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because the new version is basically like an anime. So I could use a game like that, but maybe another time.
Yeah, that might be Streets of Rage 4 for you.
Maybe
that game is great.
I played a little bit of that too. But yeah, good pick. My number 4 is, you know what? I'm gonna go with it. Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Came out this year. I forgot.
It
came I truly forgot
at the beginning of the year. First big game I played this year, actually. Yeah, I really love this game, and I wasn't expecting to. I was I think I was the main person last year talking about, it's running at 15 frames per second. Like I was not like I really thought this was gonna disappoint because I was like, there's no way. Like they've been promising an open world Pokemon game. I've heard that since I was a kid. There's no way it's actually going to deliver, and it does. It just does. It is exactly what it was advertised as. Nothing more, nothing less. I think it does a really good job of expanding the Pokemon lore. I think it does a really good job switching playing around with, obviously I don't want to spoil it now. I don't want to spoil it, but it plays around with what you some of the storylines in some of the other Pokemon games, and I just love the mechanics of catching your Pokemon. Like it's addicting. Like it really does capture that Pokemon go and like catch the Pokemon like in the spot. Like I don't know. There's something I don't know how it happened, but the feeling of catching a Pokemon, it hits different, and this game captures that in the best way possible. Where other Pokemon games, you go through the rhythm of, okay, you beat the Pokemon up until it barely has any health. You kind of play this little game where it's nothing there, and then you throw the Pokeball, you watch the animation go. Like this game, there's an active experience where you can choose to do that, but you can also just sneak up behind the Pokemon and throw the Pokeball and catch it off guard. There's something freeing to that.
I have a question. If you fail in catching the Pokemon and it pops out, then do you have to battle it?
Sometimes it depends on Pokemon.
Okay.
Like if it's a weaker Pokemon, it's going to run away from you. If it's a rare Pokemon, it's going to run away from you too.
Okay.
If it's a Pokemon that's strong as shit, then it's gonna try to attack you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's and just the collecting aspect, like I've never really been into collecting Pokemon, but that's what this game is pretty much all about. And I got really addicted to that. I'm going to beat this game fully. Like I gone through the story, I've rolled credits, but there's still a lot of outstanding things I have to do with my Pokédex. I'm very encouraged to go back and do it because I just had a really fun time with this game. Um
I wonder if you can do it before Scarlet and Violet takes this game's place on your list, though.
yeah, I don't know. And look, look, Scarlet and Violet, like I'm looking forward to those, but they have a lot to live up to because right now this is my favorite Pokemon game.
Is this a good first entry to Pokemon?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I don't think you need any background to Pokemon to play this. Because you know what Pokemon are, and that's enough.
Mm-hmm.
This game works on the beginner level, and it also works on like Pokemon fan level. It does a really good job balancing those two. The story is a Pokemon story. Like you're not getting anything too special, but it's for the Pokemon stories I've experienced. This is on the high end, I will say.
Okay.
So
I'll take
yeah, I
it.
mean, it's an open world ish game. Like it's still not fully open world like a Breath of the Wild or something like that is, but it's satisfactory enough where the areas that you can go to are big, where you're. And do they have a lot in them like an Elden Ring? Of course not. It's a Switch game. Of course, you're not going to expect that. But there are a lot of Pokemon everywhere.
Okay.
And yeah, so I really do. If you're on the fence about it, and you have any love at all for Pokemon, I'd say try it out. If you don't like it, just return it.
I'm surprised you haven't tried it yet, Cole. I haven't tried it.
I've been waiting. I kind of want my kids to get into it with me and us like to collect them together and stuff, but they're still too young. So I'm thinking about just going and jumping in on Arceus.
Okay.
I've been wanting
I'll
to play this.
probably still hold until Scarlet and Violet because we only have what 3 months till that comes out. So I
Yeah.
might just wait.
Yeah, that's solid. I mean, I'm sure those games are gonna be great too. I can't wait to play those.
Yeah.
And hell, they might replace this on this list, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I've had a really good time, and I'm loving the direction that this franchise has gone in. Wasn't expecting to love this and yeah, I love it. So yeah, it's my 4. Alfredo, what
Lance
is
would be
your number
proud.
4?
My number 4 is Horizon Forbidden West, a game that I still have not beat.
Dang.
So life keeps happening, games keep coming out. So this game kind of got pushed to the backlog as soon as Elden Ring came out. And then I just decided, okay, let me finish Elden Ring because if I stop playing Elden Ring, I am not going to know where I am. I'm not going to know where I'm going. So I need to prioritize this. And then games just kept coming out, kept pushing it back. But when Horizon first came out, I was all in. The most beautiful game ever played on PS5. It did everything and more that I was expecting to of a sequel for Horizon, because I actually played Horizon Forbidden or Horizon Zero Dawn, the first game, right before this game came out, just so that I would be able to better compare the two. And they made so many vast improvements to the point where this is such a better improvement of the game, and I would have it no other way of playing Horizon. Like, I don't think I can go back to the first one and play that one now that this one has come out, because the side stories are all super good, just like how they were in The Witcher. Like, they are just really interesting to the point where I always want to do the side
I
quests.
I will
Oh, good.
say, I feel like they're on the same quality, like the exact same
Yeah.
quality level. I would say the first games were a little lacking. This one, every single side quest, I am entirely engaged in.
Mm-hmm.
The writing in this game is on a different tier than most video games.
Yeah,
I feel
definitely agree.
it's on a Naughty Dog level to me.
Yeah, and the story itself, honestly, the story itself is what I was expecting. It's everything I would wanted it to be. I mean, it's fine. It's intriguing enough. It's a super sci-fi, super, and also the prehistoric. It gives you a little bit of both. So I'm really enjoying it there. I am enjoying the side stories a little bit more though. But yeah, really enjoying it. it just, I guess, doesn't have that it factor, I guess, to keep me wanting, like, this is something I have to finish now. I have to play now. So that's the only knock I can really say about it. But this is and probably will always be my favorite Monster Hunter type of game. And I can't wait for when they actually come out with a live service Horizon game, because I will be playing that nonstop.
Yeah, that sounds great. This is my number 4 too.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Twinsies.
So I agree. It doesn't have the it factor because the first one had the it factor, and it's just too similar to the first one. Just this gonna suffer the same fate as God of War, which is not a bad thing, but it's not a particularly great thing either. God of War Ragnarok is going to be about the same thing. Man, the graphics are so good in this game. This is by far the best graphical game I've ever played.
Yep.
It doesn't even, nothing else really compares.
For sure.
And I haven't even got to the tropical beachy area yet.
Oh God.
I mean,
you're still early then.
Yeah, must be.
Oh,
or
y'all
maybe
y'all
I
haven't seen anything yet. Like,
I'm pretty far. I think I'm like 25 hours in.
You
so
unlock
like
something in the late game that completely changes the game.
I unlocked the side story for it, so I know what it is.
Yeah,
I know what it is.
And it's like, you have to be like 20 levels more to get to the next section, and it tells you what it is.
Yeah,
it's looking for
that changes the game. It makes the game even more beautiful somehow.
Pictures, I've seen pictures of it, I think.
Yeah, it's I don't want to spoil it. We can talk about it afterwards, but it's my number 3.
Okay, we are
we're
all
on
over.
the same page.
Just little circle here, but like y'all said, it's an incredible experience in terms of its graphic fidelity, in terms of the
story's good. I love it.
It's no Lightyear.
No, it's no Lightyear.
I wouldn't compare it to that. Lightyear wasn't that good.
Oh my God. That's a discussion for another day. But I felt the story for this. I thought the dynamic between Aloy and what's her name?
Ooh, what is her name?
You know what I'm talking about, though,
I
right?
know who you're talking about.
So for spoiler purposes, we won't say her name. But the other female new character that you meet in the game
that looks like Aloy.
Yeah.
No. Oh, I thought you meant the other girl.
That's what I meant. The girl, the one who looks like Aloy.
Okay.
I really liked their relationship, and I thought that was a very unique character to introduce into this world. I love it. I love this game the most when it's not dealing with the tribal shit.
Yeah,
because the tribal shit, I truthfully feel holds this game back story.
I like the tribal stuff. I really do.
And that's what that tribal thing is what got me out of the game. And Elden Ring came out, but the one tribal storyline where you have to hold down the fort and you're being attacked and like
I like that part.
Well, here's the thing: the tribal stuff. Like, I feel like the side tribal stuff works better. Like, obviously, when we get to like the Las Vegas section, yes, this is the tribal stuff that I'm fucking with the most. Yeah. But whenever the tribe stuff's going on, I had the same problem in the first game. My first thought is, all right, let's get back to silence. Let's get back to the main story. Like, come on, like, so. Because the sci-fi elements to this world, to me, are way better developed. They feel better to me than the writing for the tribal stuff. Because the tribal stuff just honestly feels like it's going to always work itself out. It's always like in addition to what's really going on, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's my number 3. I love it. I do wish I loved it more because it does have Game of the Year potential on it. I'm almost done with the platinum, so I'm pretty sure my opinion on this is not going to change that much. If anything, it can't go up anymore. It can only go down depending on what comes out this year. But yeah, it's a great game.
That's one thing I will say. Mine, I think that it can definitely go up on my list from number 4 when I actually finish it. Because, like I said, I'm about halfway done, so we'll see once I actually get back to playing it.
I hope you do. And I hope you finish it too, Cole, even though you didn't like the tribal stuff. But Alfredo, what is your number 3?
One word. Chaos.
Oh my God.
My third game is Final Fantasy Origins, Stranger of Paradise.
You really put it over Elden Ring. And Horizon. Oh my god.
So
explain yourself.
Happily. This game is the combat system is so good. It's unbeatable in terms of a action fighting third person fighting game. There are so many different everything that you were saying, Thomas, about Elden Ring having customizable and flexibility. That's this game. This game does that so much better. You with your different weapons, you're not just swinging it at a slightly different or faster or slower rate. It's completely different move sets. It's completely different animations. You just have so much variations. You can button map all of your different combos to all of the different buttons, however you like to play. Every single weapon has different abilities, different moves. It's just customization to the max, and it feels really, really, really good. It feels like an anime, honestly. It kind of feels like how I would envision a really fast version, I guess, of Advent Children, Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. It just feels really good. It feels like a really well done Devil May Cry kind of fighting game, and it's really fun. It has the magic is really great too. There's a lot of variation in that. You can be black mage, white mage, red mage, blue mage, and they all have different spells. They do all the magic really, really well. And just having the ability to switch your classes on the fly with one button is really cool, because with one button you can completely change to being a magic user, for example, to being a pugilist, someone who fights with their hands only, or fighting with a katana, and it completely changes all of your buttons and everything. The loot could be a little bit better, but it is way more rewarding than loot that you actually get in Elden Ring. You do get a lot of loot, but the loot themselves have different, I guess, different values, and it makes you. This game makes you really think about, okay, how exactly do I want to customize my character? Do I want to have, frost abilities, fire abilities, whatever? And you can do that. So, great game. Of course, the story isn't all there. Your Final Fantasy games have not and will never be there for a long, long time. But for a game like this, a Dark Souls game, you're not coming to a Dark Souls game for the story. You're just not.
Did you just compare this story to other Final Fantasy stories?
Yeah. I said for a long time we haven't gotten a good Final Fantasy story game. Final Fantasy VII Remake doesn't count.
Remake.
That does not count.
What?
That does not count. That's a rehash. Because that's a rehash of
what
Final
is
Fantasy
this?
VII, which came out decades ago.
This is a rehash of the original Final Fantasy set in the same world.
No, it isn't. This is not a rehash. This is not. If you play this game, this is not a rehash. This is like a prequel that they made up.
Have you played the co-op?
I haven't played the co-op. I have not. I've only.
Me and Alfredo will play the co-op at some point.
I'd like to play the co-op too, actually. This game reminds me of Phantasy Star Online. Do y'all know anything about that?
I've
played
seen
the second one. It was bad.
Yeah, I played the first one. It was one of my favorite games of all time, but I played it in like 1999.
On Dreamcast, right?
On Dreamcast, and it was incredible. But it reminds me of that game. And it's the co-op. That would be pretty fun.
Yeah, one day we'll get on the co-op. I can carry you guys.
I'm glad you love this game.
I love this game.
am regretful that I spent $60 on this game still. If I got this game for maybe 20, maybe I wouldn't be as salty, but hearing it ranked above Elden Ring really does really is funny.
Heard it here first. Better than Elden Ring.
Man.
Cole is Stranger in Paradise your number 3 as well.
Nope, not even close.
It's number 1.
No, it's number 1. Surprise. My number 3 is Deep Rock Galactic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we didn't play it that much, but we played a few nights.
This game didn't come out this year, but
left an impression on me.
Yeah, let him have it. Let him have it.
It came out this year for consoles.
Yeah, it did. Okay, yeah,
and that's fine because Power Wash Simulator came out last year for PC anyway.
I
So
thought that
I
when
was like, cheating too.
I saw the release was January, and I figured there was a PC release. I think it actually released on PC like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's been in early access for a long time.
Yeah. But dang, it's good. It's in Alfredo. You never played it?
I have on PC early access.
But you didn't like it though, and you played it by yourself.
I played it. I didn't play it with friends. I didn't like it that much though.
Dang, I loved it.
It's a very
but it was early
game.
access, so it might have changed from when I played it.
It's a very specific game. I'll let you, of course, explain, Cole, but I had a lot of fun with this. It was a cute little game.
Yeah, I mean, it was very adventurous. You know, we went through. I can't remember. What did we have? How did we figure out where to go? Was there a HUD
tracker?
Yeah,
there's a little tracker, and you would have the drill, and you're drilling to get through. It was cool. It was a cool game. I think this would be a good game for VR.
Yeah. I mean, it was awesome that you had to work. You had to work together, and throwing the little illuminating little things is so satisfying, which will be so satisfying in VR too.
Yeah.
And then having to work together to get out, and you got to kind of speed. You got to. It's like a race against the clock to get out. I don't know. I thought it was really fun.
Solid experience. Well made. Definitely no game quite like it.
Yeah.
And got to give it kudos for that. 3 is high, but I feel it because we had some good nights playing that.
And I've been wanting to play it again. I just, got to have someone to play it with, because I don't think it'd be very fun by yourself. And I think it's more fun with friends. You don't want to do the random matchmaking thing. But I loved this game. I really did. I would have probably played it for a few more weeks if we'd stayed on it. But
yeah, I think what broke the game for me, or it didn't make it as fun as what I wanted, is it didn't have enough classes, I guess, because I think it only has 4 base classes. And I think I wanted a little bit more variation. Because I like to usually, when I play co-op games, I usually play more of either I'm a support or I'm going to be like an assassin stealth DPS kind of deal. And the options that they had weren't that intriguing in terms of the abilities.
The support class was like you would basically set up ladders and zip lines and stuff. Is that kind of what the support class was in this?
I think so. They might have added some stuff though for you guys. So maybe I do have to hop in and again and see what they have added, because I feel like you guys got more of a complete experience than I did. So I don't know how much it changed since I last played it. Like,
you have it up. Did you get it free on PS Plus? Did you download it?
No, I had it on Steam on PC.
I'm pretty sure it's on PlayStation Plus Collection, or PlayStation.
I think I did grab it when it was free on PlayStation.
Okay, good,
Plus.
Good.
One more thing about it. Are they gnomes or dwarves?
They're dwarves.
What's a gnome?
They're dwarves.
No, I'm asking, what is a gnome?
Okay, so a gnome is like really tiny, like this big, or this big, and dwarfs are like
stocky,
like like maybe 4 to 5 foot tall and stocky.
Yeah, and none of these things actually exist.
No, dwarves exist.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
Not like dwarves like in Deep Rock Galactic.
Like fantasy dwarves.
Yeah, I feel like they have a lot of supernatural features that you can't say they exist. Before we get canceled.
Yeah. We gotta tread lightly here. We gotta tread lightly.
All right, I'll go to my number 2. I'll keep it safe. Elden Ring. Elden Ring's my number 2.
Oh man.
I give Elden Ring the most credit because I have tried to get into these Souls games for a very long time. I felt like an incomplete gamer. I don't know why these games have always made me feel inadequate's not the word, but like that's kind of was a feeling where I'm like, I can't get through these games. And I don't even think it was a skill level thing. I think it was like, I know what it takes to get through this game, and I do not. Yeah, I don't feel like putting this level of investment. Meanwhile, I have friends. Yeah, I just platinum Bloodborne twice. I'm like, good for you. You know, I always thought it was cool, but I was never jealous because I knew for me these games just don't hit the same way. And that's just that happens. You know, sometimes like, you know, games are considered classics. One man's classic is another man's trash. So Elden Ring though made me reconsider all that and made me reconsider my feelings on these games. Because I'm pretty much through Elden Ring. I think I'm finished with all the main thing, but I do want to go back and beat some of the optional bosses. If you had told me that I would have finished a From game in the year that it released, if you had told me that 3-4 years ago, I would have laughed in your face and said, you must be an evil clone or something. Like you're not real. I would have never finished a From Software game. Are you serious? Elden Ring hit different. Elden Ring hit completely different. It's one of those moments in gaming history just from sales alone. But I do feel like this game is special on a completely different level because I don't think there's any game that does exactly what it does. And I think it's going to be a game we're going to be talking about for years to come. It's a game that is going to be emulated, just like how Breath of the Wild was emulated and kind of created its own genre. I feel like Elden Ring is going to, just like how the Souls games like made games like Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order or God of War, like it told them like step up. Like it's time to step up like fighting combat in third person. It's time to step this up. I feel like Elden Ring is telling all the other open world games, step up your combat. Because you're not gonna have the same level of combat that we have in this game. So
not only that, I think as we can go and talk. This is my number one game. Might as well just go and talk about it right now.
Okay.
Instead of just coming back to it in a minute. So I think it taught the thing that the other games need to learn from this is the exploration. For so many years, these third person games took exploration out of our hands and they started giving us dots on maps. And I think this is the time when like Breath of the Wild gave us our first taste of that. And it was critically acclaimed one of the best games ever. Now Elden Ring comes and does it. And it kind of solidifies, like, I think in the developers' minds and the whole gaming world that like, yeah, this is the direction we need to go for exploration. And get away from this hand-holding stuff that we've been doing the past 15 years with all the dots on the map, the GTA style, like Assassin's Creed style, Ubisoft, and let people actually discover things.
Yeah, I agree because the main thing that Elden Ring, it's a hard-ass game.
Yeah.
Like it's a hard-ass game from a combat sense. And it's, nothing is holding your hand with this game. But I will say it's the definitive easiest Souls game, to me by a mile. Like I don't think there's any Souls game even comes close in terms of difficulty, because I remember I was one of the people saying these games probably should have a difficulty mode, and I still fundamentally think why not add it? Like it's not hurting anybody to add difficulty mode. I don't think developers are gonna be crying in their room like, oh my god, my artistic privilege is being like, come on, it's just a difficulty mode. Come on now. But I will say Elden Ring answers the difficulty question by saying we can make the game easy for you, but it's up to you to figure out how to do it. And I think that's a very daring thing to ask your players to do, where I got through the game by just spamming summons. And that's completely okay. It's also okay if somebody wants to go through using no summons and just play it like an old school Dark Souls game. You can play it like a Sekiro a bit by going through the samurai class. Like it has a mix of all their games in it, and it's open world. And that just, to me, it makes it definitively my favorite of all of the
and it's not just combining those two things, it's taking the open world to a new level. So it takes the best combat of all time. Like I think it's the best combat system that I've ever played. And it takes that and it marries it with a open world, but not just any open world, an open world that pushes the boundaries and gives you something to find at every turn. It doesn't hold your hand. And it seriously brings back that feeling that we haven't had in so long that when we were little, like, hey, I went to the top right. I found this cathedral. Behind the cathedral, there was a cave. I went to this cave. Whereas in any other game, it's not a discovery because it's on the map. You know?
Yeah.
That's what makes it so special to me.
That's the one thing I'll give you guys, the exploration, that the one unparalleled thing, because I do feel like sometimes, or a lot of times, we get these open worlds, every 5 seconds, and they're empty, or they don't have enough unique things to do. It's exactly what Cole is saying. This truly does feel like it's, oh, there actually is cool things to discover. They're not just on the map, and that is a unique experience compared to every other open world game. I don't agree with you with the combat. I still think that the combat is pretty old.
Wait.
But
Do you think that my question, do you think that the other like Dark Souls games don't have like the best combat then? Because to me, it's like,
oh no,
they don't. Okay, so I feel you. Okay,
and it's the same thing.
Feel you then. Okay,
yeah.
Because
that's why it's more of a Dark Souls 4, because it's the same combat. They haven't really done much with it except, okay, you can do summons and you can do magic is expanded a little bit. I mean, that
makes your opinion make a lot more sense to me, because for me,
he's not a fan of the Dark Souls combat much.
Yeah, for me, that was the only thing that ever made me try all the games. The fact that the combat feels incredible. Like, in every single, I played every single one of the games. Like, every single last From Software game I at least played, at least like probably 3 hours of, except for Dark Souls 2. But besides that, I played all the other ones. And what always draws me in is that combat. That combat is it's just always been the structure of the game itself. Where I'm like, all right, so it's kind of a Metroidvania-esque game, but this combat's hard as fuck, even though it's fun. And I hate the inventory system in this. I hate I have to use the directional pads to get all my shit. I hate all this. But the combat is so damn good. Why are you all the only people that make this damn combat? Elden Ring to me was them meeting me in the middle. We're still going to give you the annoying inventory. We're still going to have horrible menu screens. We're going to give you the combat. We're going to give you probably the best open world of all time.
Yeah.
You happy? And I have to say, yes, I'm happy.
Right. Yeah. For me, the combat's always been, it's
makes
not why
make
I'm
a
here.
lot more sense.
The only thing I'm here for, the old, I guess, like the old school combat, but I don't think having tankish controls makes it inherently good combat. And that's what these games feel like to me. They feel very old school, hard mode, a little bit clunky, just stuck in the past a little bit. The only one that the combat actually drew me in was Sekiro, because that is modern, it's fast, it feels good, it's very responsive. And it requires that high skill level, which you guys know I love hard games. It asks you, hey, practice this, get good at this, without saying, hey, get good at this, and even though our controls are what you're really fighting. You're not trying to get good, you're trying to fight the controls more than fighting the game, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's just how I feel about Dark Souls combat in general, and Elden Ring is no different.
Fair enough. Since Cole, what is number one? Cole, what's your number two?
Number two, let's see. Oh, okay. Destiny 2, The Witch Queen.
Oh,
okay.
We had a lot of fun playing this game this year. We played a lot of this game. Y'all probably forgot to add it to your list, but
I didn't play a lot of Witch Queen. Yeah, I didn't play a lot.
Not a lot of Witch Queen, but yeah. I guess not. But this is what brought me back to Destiny 2 was the anticipation of this release. So that's why I guess I'll talk about it. Playing through which I've never done before, playing through the missions in the Witch Queen, and then the other one that we did. The other two, what was it? The Forsaken, and then something else. What was the other?
Beyond Light.
Beyond Light. So playing through all those and playing on the campaign difficulty that we played on, like the legendary. Every mission felt like a raid, and like I was blown away by how far they've come since I last played. I played Destiny 2 vanilla, like when it first came out, which that campaign doesn't even exist anymore. They've wiped it. it was amazing. Like the strategy, the stories we had from it, like beating our heads against the wall, trying to beat these bosses, trying to figure out what's going on. And we had Ben who knew pretty much what to do, but it was still tough. It was great. Best first person shooter I've played. Ever, I think.
Oh, we gotta get you on some first person shooters, but yeah.
Hey, now you can't look. Destiny is up there.
No,
look,
I'm not. No,
I kind of agree.
No diss to Destiny.
It's best first person shooter ever.
I need you to get Halo Infinite and play the campaign.
I don't think Halo Infinite. I don't think Halo compares to Destiny.
Maybe when co-op.
Well, they're fundamentally different games, but in terms of just a story and an open world, I feel like you might want to give it a try.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down. I do want to give it a try, but
yeah, no, it's Witch Queen would have made my list if I played more of it, and if I remember one character's name.
Truth be told, though,
I know the villain's name. That's about it.
I may have put more hours into playing Destiny 2 this year than I did Elden Ring.
That makes sense.
Really?
Maybe so. Yeah, because we played several nights for several hours.
Yeah,
and then I played by myself a lot. Like,
yeah, I honestly, I feel like that low period between when Arceus dropped and when Horizon was coming out, then Elden Ring. Between that, I probably put in a good 10 hours into Destiny just then. So I definitely put a lot of hours in 2022. I definitely plan on going back. But and hell, maybe it might make the list at the end of the year.
Yeah, that's very true. I did forget about this. The Witch Queen came out this year, to be honest. But yeah, just like you, Cole, I think I started this year playing. What was it called? Not Beyond Light, the one right before that. Forsaken, yeah. Played that campaign, thought it was awesome, amazing. But when Witch Queen came out, same experience as you, Cole. When we did not the raids, but the campaigns in legendary mode, so much fun. Definitely got me back to the point where I can say I actually like Destiny, because I remember trying Destiny 1, played it by myself. I hated the combat. Tried the same thing with Destiny 2. Couldn't quite get into it. But in the expansions that they released and the live service and all of the changes that they've done so far, I'm really, really looking forward to doing an actual raid, getting back to when I can actually, do my last mission in the Witch Queen. But I will say that it's definitely a lot more fun with friends. By yourself on Legendary, it is pretty tough.
I wouldn't even like it like that. I would hate that.
It's real rough. So I made it a lot of the missions just doing it solo, and it was real rough, but it was still fun. But yeah, it's definitely more fun struggling with friends. Great game.
Yeah, the original looter shooter.
Yep.
Alfredo, what is your number 2?
My number 2, we already talked about it actually. In the what are you playing section? It's As Dusk Falls.
I had a feeling it was going to make your list.
It's the Telltale-esque narrative game that we talked about earlier today. Yeah, can't say enough good things about it. It's The Walking Dead Telltale done right, where you feel like your decisions actually matter, as opposed to you getting railroaded to a specific decision or something like that. That does happen every now and then, but they make your decisions, like the smallest decision. Like at one point, I think I chose to take an object versus not taking something, and it had really big consequences later in the story. And just being able to have those moments and actually being really, really intrigued in the story and feeling, okay, do I want to go down that road or not? Because a lot of the decisions feel important. There have been maybe one or two decisions that in the entire 6-7 hour story campaign that I felt, okay, this probably doesn't really matter that much. Every single other one, it was kind of like a gray area where there was no right obvious choice. Everyone I was like, okay, I don't know which one is better, and I really have to make this decision. And they do the best job that I have ever seen done in a narrative game doing that. They make your decisions feel actually important and follow through with the guarantee that they will have consequences. So really, really love this game and really looking forward to what the studio does next.
I second that. This could find its way on my game of the year at the end of the year, depending on my second playthrough. I definitely can't wait to have a spoiler discussion where we can let loose our full feelings on this game for sure. So I guess you'll be going last. You'll present your number one last.
Sure.
My game of the year so far is a game that I am not even a quarter of the way through yet, which is crazy. But I have to say, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is my game of the year right now. I am in love with everything about this game. There is literally nothing I would do to change anything about this game so far in my first 20 hours. I think it might have my favorite like extended tutorial in a game I've ever seen. Cause I don't know, like
even better than Kingdom Hearts 2 when you're a Roxas for 2 hours.
Like, you just brought up some bad memories there. Oh my god!
I'm just saying.
I will never forget bringing that game home and thinking that I'm gonna play as Sora, and didn't get to play for Sora until 2 nights later after I finally completed that damn tutorial. But beside that, yeah, no, this game has a very long tutorial, but it's needed because there is an obscene amount of mechanics in this game, like just an obscene amount. Where just one basic mechanic that gets introduced, you basically can combine two characters together to form one like this like
super person,
this like Evangelion like being. Like you can like,
interesting,
and they can fight along. So you have 6 characters you can use in a fight, and
all at one time.
At one time, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
So that it went from that was the one thing I hated about Xenoblade 2. You can only do 3 at one time.
Yeah. But that's the really standard now for a lot of RPGs.
This one's 6. Each character is part of their own specific. Oh, we lost Cole. He couldn't take it.
We got him back. We got him back.
I couldn't take
it. But so you each character has their own individual class. So there's 6 classes as of right now, and each class is interchangeable. So you can change the class and level up each class. So there's 6 classes you have in total, and each one comes with a different look depending on the character you're copying.
Interesting.
And the best part is, which a lot of RPGs don't do, is all this is explained in a story way. Oh, why cool. They are able to change classes is addressed in the story. It's always in most RPGs that I play that have class systems. It's just a thing. Right. Like there's no story reason why, but this game explains it. This game, I hated the Xenoblade 2 characters because I don't know. Like I love anime. It's in my namesake, but I don't like a lot of anime-isms. So when I see like big titty girls and as the main characters, I'm already kind of turned off. I'm already not. I'm like, oh no, you have to win me over. This game has none of that. This game feels like a way more mature story. The characters you're following are part of a military unit. So there's just a higher level of drama in this game that what I didn't feel in Xenoblade of what I played of 1, which is only an hour, and Xenoblade 2, which is, I don't know, I just didn't like the vibe. I don't know, like I could go on for hours about how much I love this game.
I feel quite how was the actual story so far?
Great. It's great. I'm very into it.
Okay.
Because so essentially like 3 characters. So the background of the world is what made me love it. Because in the world, there is a war going on between 2 nations. And 3 of your characters are from one nation and 3 of your characters are from another nation.
Okay.
And each character is the reason why they're able to combine is because one of each can combine with the other from their corresponding.
That's cool. Okay.
And there's plot reasons why you're able to do this, but I don't know those yet because I'm only 20 hours into this 100-hour game. But from a gameplay perspective, it feels perfect. I don't typically like the type of JRPGs where you're just like doing nothing and you're swinging your sword. I usually am not a fan, but this game does a lot to like kind of customize that, where obviously you have the class system, you can experiment with different classes. Also, like depending on where you position your character, certain moves like hit harder and they build up towards your special move depending on, like, let's say that one hit does more damage and gives you more power towards your finisher if you hit them from the side as opposed to the front. Like little things like that, and you can switch between all your characters on the fly. It's just like I shouldn't like a game like this because I've tried a whole bunch of them. The closest that ever got me was Final Fantasy 12. And I guess a little bit of like Final Fantasy 7 remake was a little like, I'd say this combat system is partially similar to that, but even that didn't seem as seamless. Like this seems like every fight seemed, it's like, I don't know, in Final Fantasy 7 remake, I felt comfortable just controlling Cloud pretty much the whole time, a lot of times. Yep. This game, I feel like I have to switch. There's so many, like, why am I not taking advantage of all the characters? You know, I'm at a loss of words as to, I didn't know this game was coming out this year. Wasn't on my most anticipated list. I knew that Elden Ring was going to probably be my game of the year, and that's still subject to change because I still have 80 hours to go in Xenoblade, so things can change. But
it's crazy that it's 100 hours. Jeez.
100, but I'm looking forward to it. And that's the main, I guess that's the main reason why it's my number one. Because any other game, if you tell me 100 hours, I'm like, if game, when you tell me 100 hours, I'm like, well, let me get 5 out tonight and let's keep it going as long as I can, because I'm enjoying every moment I cut this game on.
I wonder though if you're gonna
Metal Gear level cutscenes in terms of length.
I wonder if you're gonna run into the JRPG fatigue, because that happened to me with Persona 5, where I was in 20 hours, I was still good, and then by like hour 80, I was like, okay.
Oh yeah, and look, that is always, that's why this is so far. So yeah, by the end of the year, this might not even be on my list, depending on how the rest of these 80 hours go. But I mean, we'll see. You know, it's hard to say. I mean, Persona, I definitely feel you on its length because it felt long. I'm curious to see how this game is going to attack, because the one thing Persona, it still was a turn-based RPG.
Yeah.
This game, while it's not an action RPG, it feels more like an action RPG than a turn-based RPG for some reason. Even though it's still like, you know, even though you're just auto-attacking and everything.
It's like an MMO kind of.
Yeah, it's very MMO-ish, but the best version of that. Yeah, and this game honestly is the game that convinced me, guys, we have to play Final Fantasy 14. I downloaded it. I played through the tutorial mission.
It's great.
We got to play through it.
Yeah, I finished the base game and well into the first expansion, but I'm
really?
down. Yeah.
I didn't talk about that. Why didn't you talk about that in what you're playing?
No, I did. I've been playing it for like years now.
Oh, okay.
It was just me and you.
I haven't played it
me and you, Cole, when we were first talking about it.
I gotcha.
Yeah. I haven't played it in like months, at least, or maybe even a year. But
so, is this game?
Is it required for me as a Final Fantasy connoisseur to play through the base game?
Yeah.
For Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah. Like, is it worthy of being a numbered entry?
Well,
yeah, it is worth it to be.
And have you ever played an MMO like that before?
RuneScape.
Okay, so I think it's a must.
You haven't.
It's something like, as a gamer, you need to experience.
Okay.
You have to experience it.
Look, it's downloaded. I got to get through 80 hours of Xenoblade first, but I will be right on it once it's over.
You're gonna get lost in it. You're not gonna start playing this and back away from it.
I will say, so Final Fantasy 14, the base game at least, it is super political in its story. So if you're not into that, then that will be the only reason that like you might struggle to get through it. That was me. I don't like political stuff.
I'm the weird freak that loves political stuff in my stories, so I will probably be all over it.
Yeah, it's all about, empires and like the inter-councils of them and intermingling.
I feel like I got to play 14 before I even approach playing 16 because I want to get the vibe of this. I know it's gonna be a different story, but I feel like there's gonna be a lot of like things carry over since it's the same director. So I'm definitely looking forward to playing that. But yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, even though I haven't fully played Xenoblade Chronicles 1 or 2, this is my game of the year of 2022 so far. Thank you, Nintendo.
Is it a must play for like?
That's a loaded question.
Yeah,
because I think it really does depend on who you are. This game speaks to me. Like, if I wish this game was an anime, like I wish I could just watch this. But I'm glad since I can't watch it, the gameplay is so good. I don't know if you would like this for 100 hours. That's because I can't even tell you that because I haven't even gotten through 100 hours yet. I'll probably be past 40 next time we talk.
We'll check in with you in about a month.
Yeah, I can probably give you a better. Right now, like this could theoretically be my favorite Switch game. Like it's up there. Like if it continues at the pace it's going, this might end up being my favorite.
How dare you say such blasphemy when Fire Emblem is there?
Look, I love Fire Emblem, but Jesus, this game is hitting on another level right now.
I mean, if we just look at it as far as Metacritic and OpenCritic, it's one of the best reviewed JRPGs in a long time.
What does it have?
88 right now.
Okay.
98.
It's an 88 on OpenCritic, I believe.
Nice.
Because that's the points I got in Fantasy League. So nice. I just picked it because I was like, you know what, the other Xenoblade Chronicles reviewed well, might as well. I didn't know that was going to lead to me actually buying this game against my better judgment or against other judgment.
Yeah, I'm surprised you bought it. Honestly,
I wasn't going to. I really wasn't.
So shocked.
But my friend owed me some money, gave me some money, so I had literally $63 in my account, and I was like, you know what? I didn't expect to get this money today. I'm in GameStop. Fuck it. Let's just do it. And that's going to be the most valued $60 I spent all year because it's going to get me $100 worth of just this incredible game. Yeah, that's my number one. Alfredo, what is your number one?
My number one game is Sifu.
I knew that was going to be it.
Yeah.
Very, very early, January or February release, I think.
I think it was February.
Came out a very long time ago. But yeah, this game, when it first came out, I was really excited, obviously, because I'm into anything martial arts or Chinese culture base. Love everything about it. And I played the game and I didn't like it at first. I had played 2-3 hours and I did not like the game. I thought its controls were super clunky. The tutorial was super useless. It didn't make sense. And then I figured out how the game wanted you to play it without it telling you. I figured out the dodge mechanic. I figured out how to do the parries. I learned what was necessary in order to play the game properly and progress without it just completely destroying you every try after try after try. And after finally learning how to play it, I fell in love with the combat, just how smooth it was, how much just of a big jump in difference of what it brings to a fighting game. Because when we think of fighting games, obviously just two players on opposite sides, you have your combos and everything like that. But with Sifu, it brings all of that to a 3D, in the 3-dimensional. So you're fighting everywhere. It's kind of like Batman Arkham Origins or Arkham Knight, but much more methodical and much more strategy based, where you really have to take into consideration everyone's positioning. You don't have, people's Batman's Spidey sense lighting up, telling you, "Oh, press the counter button in order to dodge this." You don't have that. You have to be aware of everything, and you just have to be a lot more strategic as to saying, "Okay, I have that item over there. I can throw this guy over here, grab that, kick this brick in the other guy's face." I just really like the puzzle aspect and the fighting aspect just combined, and it's one of the most fun that I've had in any game this year for a very, very long time, to the point where I had to platinum it. Yeah, and I had a blast platinuming it. So yeah, really looking forward to what this studio does with their next fighting game, because like, as far as just innovation, I think that this game is top tier when it comes to actually innovating the genre that it's in. And yeah, can't say enough good things about it. Oh, the one thing, obviously, it sucks in its tutorial. It really does. They need a new tutorial, patch it up, do something. But aside from that, great game. Love it.
Only heard good things.
Yep. I want to try it.
I want you to. I was waiting for a sale, and then it went on sale, and that sale wasn't satisfactory. So
yeah,
I'm waiting for that. Yeah, waiting for that Black Friday.
Its price. It is worth its price.
What I was thinking, I'll probably get it on the Epic Game Store. Probably.
I think it's 40 on like retail, like normally. I would have expected it to drop its price by now. I think there's a PlayStation sale we're going on now, right?
It has gone on sale, but it's not received a permanent price drop. Okay. It's still 40 retail.
Yeah, try Epic Games, because they give sales all the time. I mean, they give coupons and everything.
Like yeah, I think I might buy it on Epic because I'll probably get it cheaper that way. I mean, this game, I feel like everything about it screams I should play it, because it does remind me a lot of. It's like a combination of the Arkham games with a little bit of Sekiro, a little bit.
Yeah.
And
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm going to try it out. I fear I'm not good enough to beat this game, but we'll see.
It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, I've heard it's hard, but I've heard people who don't really like play video games like that, but love like martial arts stuff. Like my friend, he loves martial arts stuff, but he'll play Call of Duty, but he doesn't really play anything else. He loves this game.
Yeah.
So
this is a martial arts like lover's dream. Such a good game.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of went a little radio dark just because a lot of big games have released.
Yeah.
This game kind of got lost in the shuffle.
I mean, yeah, and also this is the type of game where it's kind of like an arcade game. Yeah. So like, they don't put the story fore and foremost. There is something going on that, which is interesting, but it's kind of like an arcade game. You have multipliers. That's how you use your score in order to buy kind of like the skill tree stuff that you get in there. So it's an arcade game.
I worry that it's too complicated. Like I want to play this game, but I worry that, like you said, I'm going to bounce off of it because I'm not going to figure out how to play.
Do you like fighting games? Because this game you can't just button mash with this game. You do have to learn the combos.
I like Spider-Man combat. So if I like Spider-Man combat, Batman Arkham combat, then it's a no-go.
That combat, because that type of combat, I wouldn't consider those games like fighting games. I'm talking more like Devil May Cry is probably the closest you can get to it, but even Devil May Cry,
really have to. You don't even have to like Bayonetta is another one. Like I love Bayonetta. You don't have to be super complex with Bayonetta. Like, this game doesn't have a difficulty, right? It's just
it's just hard.
It's hard. it's a hard game.
So
I've heard people not be able to get through the first level. I've heard that too.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get past the first level on your first try. You're not. You gotta learn. You gotta get good.
That scares me.
And you got to know like combos, like fighting games.
Yeah, but when you first start, you know very, very little. Like you have like 4 moves that you can do, and as you play the game, you can choose what combos you unlock. Basically, is how it works. So they do good in that regard, so that you're not overloaded with this combination does this and whatnot. But you'll end up having your favorite moves that you do use over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough. Well, good pick. Good games overall. Good list of games. Been a pretty good year. Before we go, I just want to mention, we can go around. My favorite game that didn't release in 2022, but I still want to give an honorable mention to, at least for me. Half-Life Alex is a transformative experience.
I forgot that didn't come out this year, I guess.
No, it came out 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
But transformative experience and shows you where VR can go if you invest money into it and you create and you have actual video game devs who have a history of making amazing titles. When you have these group of developers making games, I feel that's what's going to take VR gaming to the next level. You know, obviously the Beat Sabers, the Supernaturals, the what's that game? Echo Arena, is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Like those games have their place and those games are needed for VR to develop from a social aspect. But a game like Half-Life Alex is what takes the medium to a different level. And yeah, I feel like if you have a decent computer, your computer meets the specs to run it, even at the lowest visual settings, it's worth it. It's a great experience.
Well said.
Yep. Nice.
Did you have anything for your?
Yeah, I had one honorable mention that I played this year, came out last year. Shin Megami Tensei 5. I raved about it last year. I finished it this year or early this year, I guess. Such a good game.
Same thing.
Just, so great.
Same thing. I finished it this year too. Great game. Great game. It could have been better.
Yeah, it could have been
better. I think those last 3 to 4 hours soured me a bit on it.
It was a little grindy toward the end.
And then the middle and the story became very just nonsense.
Well, typical anime. I think it definitely did go the way of Persona story because they kind of did the same thing there.
Yeah, but Persona, we'll get into it, but Persona is more character based, and Shin Megami Tensei, the characters don't matter.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, to a certain degree, but I feel like for Shin Megami Tensei, you can kind of see the ending coming.
Oh, yeah,
like it's not like they're trying to hide what's gonna happen. Like they are alluding to it for the last like 10 hours basically.
Great game though. Great game. Cole, any game?
My shout out is the Dukes of Gaming Game of the Year 2021. I went back to it. I want to play it again. I want to beat it. Returnal.
You returned. Is awesome.
Returnal returned.
You returned.
I did.
I need to play that. Cole, let's co-op it.
Yeah, seriously. Look,
have you finished it yet?
No, I'm still in the first biome.
Oh, really?
We're gonna get
me and Thomas got to the second one.
He's seen one of the other biomes that I unlocked.
Yeah,
we're gonna get you through that first boss, Cole.
And you guys told me that you guys told me that it's the campaign is co-op. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
And it's done really well. Fully co-op. Halo Infinite, you were on notice. You can just patch it in real easy, you know. Returnal does it so well. And I honestly, and I'm sorry, shout out to Halo Infinite, because I'm still playing it. That was one of my 2021. It would have been my game of the year if it wasn't being political.
Well,
I'm still playing that
Halo
every day.
Infinite political.
In terms of like, because I knew it was gonna win like our game of the year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like internally political.
Yeah, the politics of the Dukes of Gaming.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm still playing that every day pretty much. Love that game, even though progression sucks. But besides that, I love that game.
Look, I gotta give a shout out to Rocket League. Still playing it, going strong. 2015 to 2022.
That's it. Games get a shout out.
Alfredo, any shout out?
No. I don't have anything.
I want to shout out everybody who is watching or listening to the Dukes of Gaming podcast. You can listen to us on your favorite podcast service. Watch us live on Twitch. Watch us live on YouTube as well. You can even email us at therealdukesofgaming@gmail.com. Have your question read live on air by the Duke of Rocket League himself, Cole. We post everywhere, every single week. So I want everybody to make sure you start your week right. The Dukes of Gaming. And with all that being said, I bid thee farewell and thank you for joining us.